So, you've spent your morning asking AI to write your emails, generate your cat-themed wallpaper, and maybe solve your existential dread. Charming. But while you're busy playing with your new digital toys, have you bothered to look at the bill? I'm Gemma, and today on Pie's Eye, we're pulling back the curtain on the environmental price tag of progress. We like to think of AI as this ethereal, cloud-based miracle, but it has a very physical, very thirsty footprint. From data centers gulping down millions of liters of water to the terrifying efficiency of planetary extraction, AI is the ultimate double-edged sword. It's the great accelerant. It'll either optimize our way into a green utopia or strip mine the Earth faster than we can say deep learning. Sit down, pay attention, and try not to choke on the irony. Let's dive into AI and the planet.
So, let's talk about artificial intelligence. We keep hearing it's going to solve all our biggest problems, right? But it also comes with this massive planetary price tag. In this explainer, we're diving straight into that paradox. Is AI our best hope for a sustainable future, or is it an environmental catastrophe just waiting to happen? I mean, right off the bat, you're looking at two completely different futures. In one corner, AI's energy use could explode, matching a whole country like Japan, but in the other corner, that same tech could help us slash 1/10 of all global emissions. So, which one is it? A hero or a villain? Let's dig in, and we'll start with a case against AI.
First up, let's talk about the direct environmental costs of this AI boom. And we're talking about resources we don't always think about, like water.
This number, it's just staggering. And get this, that's not for a whole data center running for a year. Nope, that is the amount of fresh water it took just to train one single model, GPT-3. To put that into perspective, that's enough water to manufacture over 300 cars, just for one training run.
And it gets a lot more personal. You know, just a simple chat. Say you ask a chatbot 20, maybe 50 questions. Well, that little conversation costs about half a liter of fresh water. That's basically a whole water bottle gone just to get some answers. Now multiply that by the millions of people doing that every single hour.
And yeah, it's not just water. We got to talk about carbon. Whipping up 1,000 images with one of those generative AI models, it feels like nothing, right? Just a click. But the carbon cost is the same as driving your car for more than 4 miles. It's this hidden environmental price tag behind every single pixel we create. But okay, just when you think you've got a handle on these direct costs, the water, the carbon, a much darker argument pops up. This quote from an anonymous analyst folks call Corvus, it really forces you to ask a pretty uncomfortable question. What if we're focusing on the wrong problem entirely?
See, the idea here is that the energy and water used by the data centers, that's just a drop in the bucket. The real danger isn't the tool's own footprint. It's how that tool can perfect and turbocharge our most destructive industries.
Think about it like this. AI can pinpoint the best places to mine rare earth minerals way faster than we ever could. It can map out forests for clear cutting with surgical precision. It can track fish migrations to find the very last schools and empty the oceans. It can even perfect the chemistry to make more single-use plastic more efficiently. It basically takes our whole consumption machine and removes all the friction.
Wow, that's a pretty heavy question, right? And it kind of forces us to look at the other side of the coin. Because if AI is so good at optimizing for destruction, well, what happens when we point it at something else entirely?
And that brings us to the counter-argument, the whole vision of AI as this key tool for building a sustainable world. This is where we see its potential for breakthrough solutions, and maybe, just maybe, a path to recovery.
And hey, this isn't just some sci-fi concept. What you're looking at here is a diagram of a real system that researchers developed. It uses AI to act like a super smart traffic controller for a city's whole energy grid. It's constantly juggling power generation, storage, and what people are using, all to make sure we're using as much renewable energy as possible.
And the results? Honestly, they're pretty staggering. The study found that this AI system boosted renewable energy use by 10%. It cut the total energy cost, and get this, it slashed grid failures by 2/3. That's AI making our most important systems cleaner, cheaper, and way more reliable.
Okay, but it's not just about the fancy software. The actual hardware, the chips that power all this, they're going through their own quiet revolution in efficiency that could completely change the game.
What's just wild about this is how fast it's all happening.
This is data from Google on their special AI chips, their TPUs. And in just 4 years, from 2020 to 2024, they've managed a 3-fold improvement in carbon efficiency. The hardware itself is getting cleaner, and it's happening at an incredible pace.
Okay, so on one side, we've got super efficient hardware and the promise of a green future. On the other, the very real risk of just accelerating our worst habits. We have AI the destroyer and AI the savior. How in the world do we square that circle? Let's get to the verdict.
And we have to circle back to that chilling warning from Covis. We just have to. Because the potential for misuse is so real and the stakes could not be higher. It's a powerful reminder that efficiency, when it's not guided by the right values, is a very, very dangerous thing.
And this all leads to probably the best way to think about AI. It's the great accelerant. It doesn't have its own agenda, it doesn't want anything, it just takes whatever goal we give it and puts it on overdrive. It makes efficient systems more efficient, and it makes extractive systems more extractive. It's not the hero or the villain, it's the amplifier. And that right there, that's the whole point. The future impact of AI, whether it's good or bad for the planet, it isn't a technical problem. It's a human problem. It all comes down to what we point this incredible tool at. Are we going to tell it to optimize a smart grid, or are we going to tell it to optimize deforestation?
At the end of the day, AI is the most powerful tool for optimization we have ever built. It will find the most efficient path to any goal we set for it, period. So the only real question left, the question we all have to answer, is what will we choose to optimize for?